Hey y'all, it's Dr. T. I had some surgeries today and had two really interesting cases. And as you know, I like to share those pictures with y'all. And I've got some pictures for you if I can figure out how to flip my camera around. And I did. So, first case I want to show is what would be called a perforation. So, a perforation is when the Essure actually doesn't, it's not inserted maybe poorly, it's just perforating the tube. So here's what an actual perforation looks like. This is the patient's left fallopian tube, and you can see the tube coming off here, goes down this way, and you can see the coil is just perforating through the tube. So that would be probably put in the right place. It just probably wiggled its way through the backside of the tube, and I think that would probably hurt. So the problem is a lot of these patients are told, a lot of women are told that Essure, these implants don't cause pain. As you can see with that perforation, that is a problem. So we can see that could cause pain. So basically with her, she had a hysterectomy. Obviously that is removed. The second case that I want to show you is actually where I think the Essure was literally put in wrong. Because as you will see, the coil is completely sticking out of the backside of the uterus and it's nowhere near the tube. So let's take a look at that one. A little more dramatic. Aha, tube right here, tube over here, and you can see the Essure. This little bulge right here is a fibroid coming off the backside. You can see that coil is absolutely nowhere near that fallopian tube, and it's just basically jutting out the backside of the uterus. That's probably 95% of the coil. You can see it down here as well. It's just literally sticking out. The entire internal rod is sticking out. The coil itself is sticking out and it's partially bent. Luckily, it's not stuck to anything. It wasn't stuck to the colon. It wasn't stuck to the fat inside there, the omentum, but definitely could cause some problems. So to tell a woman who has been having pain in her pelvis for the last 5 years that she's had these put in, I don't understand why we think that something like that might not hurt. Not only is it hanging out into the pelvis, but it's literally still stuck in the muscle. So imagine if that was partially stuck in your leg and you went into the doctor and you said, "Doc, I've got this stupid piece of metal stuck in my leg and it hurts." They would go, "Oh my gosh, you're so right. I can't believe that you're walking around with that." But for some reason, we can't see fallopian tubes. We can't feel the fallopian tubes. So we just automatically tell women that they're crazy and that there's absolutely no way that these coils could be causing some sort of problem, when obviously they can. Now, this fibroid might cause some problems. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water. That fibroid could cause a little bit of pain, maybe some pressure coming off the backside of the uterus. But come on, that could cause a lot of problems. So I'm going to go back over these one more time, but the first case that I showed was a perforation. The coil was actually perforating out of the end of the tube. The second coil, I believe, was probably inserted wrong. It just wasn't put in right. Now, I have absolutely no evidence of that. That's a guess, but it's nowhere near the tube. It's poking out the back of the uterus, and the patient did say that she had a really difficult insertion. So again, perforation. You can see the tube, or the coil, sticking out the tube. This is the tube, and the coil's just kind of jutting out right there at the tip. Just poking out just a tiny bit. But obviously that could hurt a little bit. I mean, the tubes are ultra sensitive. It's not supposed to be sticking out like that, and it is. So that patient was obviously having some left-sided pelvic pain. Now, keep in mind, if I do 100 of these removals, I'll probably see this maybe 5 to 8 times out of those 100 cases. So these aren't common to have these perforations. They're not commonplace to have these perforations. And this second case is not common at all, but is kind of disturbing. This poor lady has been told by 3 other physicians that these things can't cause her any problems. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know how you could tell somebody that that doesn't hurt. As you can see again, the tube is way over here, way over here. The coil is right here. So it looks like they got it close, but they didn't get it all the way. My guess is that was never placed in the right place. This is just disturbing to me. This is a problem. We shouldn't be telling women that these things can't hurt. You could have had an ultrasound with that and it would have looked like things were fine because it would have been right by the uterus, which is where it should be. So you can't really rely on ultrasounds to tell you anything. You can just rely on your bare eyes. And this doesn't happen very often, but it's obviously disturbing. So as deductibles are getting met as we get towards the end of the year, if you've ever thought about making the trip to Austin to have these removed, make the phone call, 512-956-0296. We'll get an x-ray. I can help the best I can. What's funny is it's a good point to send these to the physicians that are dismissing people, because they probably would come up with some other excuse like, oh, well, yeah, I suppose that could hurt, but, how was I supposed to know, kind of a thing. And to a certain degree, I mean, there are a lot of women out there that have Essure that don't have any problems. I mean, let's face it, just by sheer numbers, there are many women out there that have these coils in that have no problems. But there's women out there that have legitimate problems, and we are dismissing them. So share this case, share both of these cases with a friend or in your Facebook groups. Share these cases because I think they mean something. There are times when these coils are either perforating like this one, or they're just completely shoved through the back of the uterus like this one. I'm going to switch back to the front. Any questions about Essure removal, the surgeries that are involved, let me know. You can always drop a note down inside the comments here. I will be more than happy to answer those. I'll come back and go through these every once in a while. But keep a stiff upper lip and be persistent, because those women found me and we got them out, and both of them were having pain, and hopefully they'll feel a lot better in the next few weeks. So that's all I had. I just wanted to share those cases with you because they were pretty interesting. If you are checking this out at the end of the video, go back when I post it and watch it, because the pictures are pretty crazy and pretty astounding that these coils were either perforating or were inserted improperly. And there were 1 million of these put in. And I see women even now that just aren't putting 2 and 2 together. They have a friend who maybe catches one of these videos and knows that they had a friend that's complaining of a lot of pelvic pain, and maybe she heard that she got the coils in. So share this if you have somebody that maybe has these in. Share this in the Facebook group so that women that maybe are having struggles might be able to take this in to a doctor and say, hey, these things do perforate. Hey, these things do migrate. So I hope you're having a good night and a good week, and we'll talk soon.